February 28th. They say this is the coldest February ever in Toronto. I suspect they're factoring in the wind chill, which it definitely is real. The wind chill effect. I used to laugh when the broadcast said -18 feels like -26. Like how can it feel like a different temperature than it is, right? Okay, then just say -26 and be done with it, right? The wind chill can cause frostbite, no question. I've seen it myself. So if it makes the air act like it's -26, then it must be -26, not 18, but feeling like -26. That's like saying this blanket is made of silk, but it feels like satin. This club is made of poplar, but it feels like oak. These ropes are made of nylon, but they feel like hemp. And it's all crap. It's all crap. So, I've decided to be friends with Angus and Karen, but to not get too close. That would allow him to have the chance to use them against me. I thought I heard them talking to him the other morning. I was sleeping, and suddenly I shot out of bed. There were three voices in the communal living area. Two were definitely Angus and Karen. One was soft. I almost leapt out of the room to confront him. How dare he? How dare he impose himself on the innocence of young love? On the hopes of a young couple just wanting to be naked and sweet? I realized just in time that I had no clothing on and was a bit crusty besides. So I grabbed the first thing I could find. It happened to be a short dress of Angela's. It's my one and only token of our doomed relationship. By the time I had it properly fastened, both Karen and that thing had returned to their respective rooms. Angus was just putting the last of the groceries away and seemed startled to see me. I was cool. Grabbed an apple out of his bag, casually asked how he was. That's what friends do. Right? I like Angus. He was very polite. He smiled like a real man. Said, "Oh, good. Everything's great. Thanks." I asked him who they'd been talking to, what he had heard. He looked frightened, and I knew he'd been talking to him. That he had been face to face with that creeping wereperson. But he was afraid to say so. Maybe that thing threatened him. I know it did. I tried to console him, but he flinched away from my touch, throwing a glance at the middle door, right? The injustice makes me shake with rage. This naive young man and his nubile fiancée, they're only just beginning to glean the situation they find themselves in. I shook my head, pointed to the door, and smiled to reassure him that I know. He nodded and backed into his room. The one saving grace is that they're across the living area. They don't have to listen to it through the wall. And if I have my way, they never will. I have to think. I have to plan. But first I need to clean the bathroom. The thought of them being condemned to sit in his rank secretions makes me want to tear my teeth out and use them as bullets to press myself against the inside of Angela's empty closet and merge with the gray paint of her pristine walls the way I merged with her gray skin. I will not allow this to happen. He has eaten his fill. Where did I put the bleach? I will cleanse the house. I will honor Angela, and I will honor myself. And then I will cleanse myself of him, of myself, of all that threatens the hope of the darling kids in the room across the floor. I can hear them now whispering sweet somethings, to each other as they nuzzle, and then kiss, and then the heat beginning to rise, to touch each other, hands on hands, then on arms. Trying to avoid the dark regions, but failing. the breath growing more insistent, the whispers dying as communication coalesces on the level of sheer physical need. His hardness, her suction, the shared need. God, I am so happy as I scrub the bathtub. I don't need to see them. I can hear the love, the openness, the back and forth of sexual discussion right through the wall, but not like that other wall, that dirty looming edifice. The urgent rustling is so erotic. Like it was with us when he saw my fear and realized that it was also my desire. It makes me want to cry just a little. She was just learning to accept her own glorious submission. Well, I made sure to clean the floor when I was done.